Customer journey mapping is still a core component in creating marketing campaigns. I know there's a lot of research out there that talks about the funnel might not exist and it might more look like a circle or a number of different things. But I think broadly, it's a good heuristic for us to use to make sure that we're covering all the bases. Because regardless of how consumers find your brand, we do need to account for different things like the awareness, consideration, and actual purchase and re-engagement and things like that to make sure that media is really doing what we're tasking it to. And so lots of different media channels can achieve lots of different goals, but prioritizing what is its primary goal, what are some secondary goals, and what are you haloing on to some tertiary goals is really important. And customer journey mapping is how we do that. And so it's important to not just map where consumers are when you're talking to them, but also understand how are we evaluating success as we talk to them. And one thing we've actually typically found is the further you are away from purchase, I like to use more attitudinal measures and asking consumers questions as opposed to the further you get down the funnel into the purchase. I think behavioral data is far more important. And as we're mapping our customer journey and as we're mapping how we communicate with customers, if we're talking to somebody who we've never spoken to before and we're just building that initial awareness, I find it's far more important to ask somebody, hey, do you remember seeing my ad? Some ad awareness, ad recall type questions. That's far more important than knowing that I've hit a certain impression reach frequency goal, which would be more behavioral. And then as we start getting further down the funnel, that's where we can rely more on our behavioral measures. And this is as we measure a market. I think one of the biggest benefits of leveraging market mix modeling is we can use some behavioral metrics further up the funnel than what you're used to seeing. And so it is very hard to use things like UTM links and pixel based tracking to get a TV ad to come into an attribution model. It's less difficult to get to come into our analyses. All media can be held to account to drive sales goals. It really just depends on how you're measuring those goals and at what frequency you want to measure.
Perfect.